Gittens is expected to be Chelsea's new signing. Probably when I'm making this video, it might have been completed. If not, this is a player that Chelsea will most likely secure after the Club World Cup. Now, we do understand Maresca's system. Maresca's system involves creating overloads in the attacking zones of the pitch, as well as having a 5-man rest defense ready to help the team in case the attack loses the ball in the process of trying to create numerical, quantitative, and qualitative superiority in the attacking third. The use of Maresca's twin eights who advance into the half spaces, allowing the opposition backline to play quite narrow, freeing up spaces in the wide channels for his lethal wingers who are looking to dribble and take on their players, is something that Maresca really fancies. And Maresca is that one manager who always wants to isolate his winger 1v1 with the opposition fullback, either looking to have his winger to pull out the fullback so that he can play a simple pass onto the player in the half space region when he can receive a cutback and continue to progress further, or a winger in this case who's able to hold the touchline and cut in with sometimes a fullback like Marc Cucurella looking to try and advance beyond him. Now, Gittens is coming to Chelsea to try and fit into Enzo Maresca's role of a winger. And what is Enzo Maresca's role of a winger? Maresca's winger is a winger who stays quite high and wide, a player who's not afraid to receive the ball and look to take on his fullback. We do understand that these are some of the reasons why Jadon Sancho's renewal was actually not accepted, because Sancho was a player who likes to play with other players alongside him. But Gittens at Dortmund showcased elements of being a winger who is perfectly suited for the Enzo Maresca's system. A winger who's more direct and who's looking to try and create moments of uncertainty in the final third. Gittens is a Manchester City Academy player who played with players such as Cole Palmer, Liam Delap, and it seems like Joe Shields is looking to try and reignite the Manchester City Academy at Chelsea. So far, all the players have performed well. Lavia, Tosin, Palmer, and Delap, who we are yet to see. Before we start our analysis, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's look at the statistics. Now, when we look at the statistics, there's one thing that comes out quite clear, and that is the progressive carries. The progressive carries refers to how intelligent and how effective a player is with the ball at his feet. And the progressive carries determines how a player is able to carry the ball. And this showcases heavily on the dribbling aspect of the player. And also we saw something here high up there, which is the shot creating opportunities. And we are seeing it's also on the strong green up there as one of the top statistics. And this is because a player who has a better progressive carry is a player who's better at actually taking the ball inside the opposition box and attempting shots on target. But this does not make this player just complete, because we are also seeing some of his faults, such as his passes, which are some of his weaknesses, as well as his defensive numbers and his shot creating ability. Probably he can carry the ball inside the box but not be so effective with how the shots are. And this is something that I have noticed with Jamie Gittens, and I'm going to try and touch a bit on this when I'm looking at his weaknesses in this analysis. Now, Gittens is a player who's coming into Chelsea to try and play similar to what Madueke does down the right. Maresca has understood that he's facing lower blocks, and lower blocks are becoming difficult, as we saw last season, Chelsea's wingers, in particular Neto and Sancho, being unable to break down these low blocks. And because Maresca understands that a lot of teams might decide to sit in rigid 4-4-2 structures, the way Everton was able to set themselves up and actually made Chelsea to not have the perfect and middle, let me say the middle part of the season. Because yes, they were creating that qualitative superiority by having 5 players in attack, but they lacked the qualitative superiority in the wide areas that is needed. Yes, the twin tens in Fernandez and Palma might be so great in the positions they occupy, but again, these are players who are not going to see the ball majority of the times, courtesy of the position that they play. The deeper rest defense system of 3-2 is also quite good because Chelsea have also not conceded a lot of goals. And the twin tens are also effective in their positions. But the problem comes when now the twin tens have to shift the ball across to the wide areas to the wingers, because now the onus is on the wingers to receive the ball and look on to take on their fullback. Because of the qualitative superiority that Maresca wants to maintain in attack, sometimes this makes the opposition to be structured in a 4-4-2 structure that is quite narrow. This narrow structure prevents Chelsea from actually opening up defenses, and this makes Chelsea to heavily rely upon the wide areas. And in the wide areas, the wingers in particular are the most important players. Gittens comes in as a player who is more direct towards the wide areas, a player who likes to receive the ball and dribble past the opponent. But at Chelsea, he will not be asked to operate in central positions. No. He will be asked to operate in the wide positions. Gittens will be asked to be making runs in behind, as Maresca wants his wingers to be so fast. He will also be asked to use his left foot to attempt shots in goal. He will also be tasked to move towards the wide areas and look to create something similar to what Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling were doing at Manchester City. Gittens will also be tasked to be very good at attacking the far post area, especially when the ball is coming from the right hand side, and therefore his lethalness will come from how he reads the game. One thing that I have to say about Gittens that he needs to understand is that I like the way he dribbles past his fullback. And dribbling past his fullback will be something that Maresca really needs in his Chelsea attack. A skillful winger. A winger who's not afraid to play 1-2s, especially with the players in the half space. And a winger who's so direct when it comes to shooting. We have seen players like Noni Madueke get into shooting position and have weak shots. But Gittens is a player who has powerful shots, though sometimes those shots might also maybe go over the bar or something like that, but he is a player who has that intent. One thing that really gives me a lot of positivity with this signing is you can see the top bin shots that he have, especially when he's cutting in through that left wing position. And once you put him in this position, he's not afraid to be making those shots. I like the way he dribbles. I like the way he likes to leave his fullback for dead. He's very blistering, he's very quick, he's very intelligent in the way he dribbles. And that's why his progressive carries are one of the best when you compare to wingers in Europe. And because Gittens likes to take on his fullback, this allows him even to find himself in positions where he can attempt shots. And couple this with Chelsea's well-organized, quantitative structure that Maresca employs when it comes to positional play, you're more likely to see a player who's going to excel. And I like the way he likes to cut in with his strong foot. I like that. And if we have wingers who are cutting in from their stronger foot, especially in the final third, this is going to make Chelsea so unpredictable, because now if you have him and then you have a player like Noni Madueke down the right or Pedro Neto down the right, who are also looking to be making those strong dribbles, then automatically the opposition's defense line is stretched. The opposition now try to commit players to cover them, and once they commit players to cover them, spaces open up in the middle for players such as Fernandez and Palma. Good and effective, unpredictable wingers will give Chelsea the space they require for players such as Fernandez and Palma to excel in their creative game. I hope this signing will be completed before the Club World Cup and we can use it as an audition to next season. What do you think? Do you agree with my analysis? Leave your comments in the comment section area below. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.